Good afternoon. Welcome to NASR. I'm Billy D. Got some Olympic coverage coming your way. Listen, we're not covering all the Olympic sports. We're covering the hockey. We're covering the hockey, mostly the men's hockey, but congratulations to the U.S. women who have advanced to the semifinal. They will play Sweden tomorrow, and the Canadian women will play Switzerland. Looks like, the U.S.-Canada matchup is inevitable, but we shall see. We're going to go over a lot that has happened since we last joined you in the men's tournament. Been very exciting, very exciting. Now, first I want to look at the group standings. Just final, Canada throttles France as expected, 10-2. In Pool A, we have, again, 12 teams. We have 4 teams in each pool, 12 teams in all, A, B, and C. Pool A, Canada, in the preliminaries, wins Pool A 3-0 with 9 points. 9 points. The Swiss finish with 5 points. A win, an overtime win. Now remember, unlike the NHL where you get 2 points for a win, in regulation and overtime and or shootout, and you get 1 point for an overtime or shootout loss. In international play, you get 3 points for a regulation win, 2 points for an overtime win, and you get 1 point for an overtime loss. That is the difference. So with 3 wins, Canada wins Pool A with 9 points. The Swiss finish in second with 5 points, 1 win, 1 overtime win, so 2-1 total. They were 2-1, but they had one of those wins in overtime. So 5 points for the Swiss. The Czechs finished 1-1, a win, an overtime loss, and a regulation loss with 4 points. So only 1 win for the Czechs in 3 games. They did get a point in the overtime loss. And that came this morning against the Swiss, 4-3. France, no NHL players in France. They're 0-3. So that is your Pool A. Canada, Switzerland, the Czechs, and France, 1-4. Pool B, the surprise, Slovakia. Slovakia wins Pool B with 6 points, 2 regulation wins, and a loss. Finland, who opened up the tournament being upset by Slovakia 4-1, but bounced back in a big way, defeating their arch rivals Sweden, and then throttling Italy 11-0. And the Finns finished 2 wins and a loss with 6 points in second in Pool B. Sweden, with 2 wins and a loss, finishes third. Sweden did bounce back from their loss to Finland and defeat Slovakia 5-3, but Slovakia, with goals scored, the differential, gets the win in the pool, and of course their victory over Finland, who Sweden lost to. Italy 0-3, only, again, France actually has 1 NHL player, and Italy has none. So, as we expected, we're going to revert back to our power rankings. We expected France and Italy to be at the bottom, but I will say this for Italy. The first 2 games, they were game. They battled. Let's take a look at something here. Other than Italy getting pounded, they really did hang in their first 2 games. They lost to Slovakia 3-2, and they lost to Sweden 5-3. They really hung in the first 2 games for a team with no NHL players. Now, Pool C, United States 2-0 after convincing win over Latvia 5-1, and I don't want to say suspect because they dominated the play. They defeated Denmark yesterday 6-3. Coach Mike Sullivan decided to go with Swayman in net from the Bruins, and he had an awful game, a terrible game. I mean, he was given shot. He gave 2 very long goals up, one from just inside the blue line and one from center ice. a shot from center ice that went in the net that he just lost in the lights, against the boards. I don't know how he lost it, but it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. They outshot Denmark 47-19 in the game, and at one point, there's 9.5 minutes left in the second period, and USA is trailing Denmark, a team with only 6 NHL players, 2-1. But listen, eventually the cream rises to the top. The USA, bang, 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 3 goals in the final 10 minutes of the second period, and all of a sudden it's 4-2. But with 2 seconds left, off a face-off, Swayman gives up a point shot from just inside the blue line that goes under the crossbar, and it's 4-3 going into the third. There's no reason for that to happen. U.S. actually started off sloppy, turned the puck over in their own zone, and were trailing 1-0. Then after a great wraparound goal by Matt Boldy of the Minnesota Wild, Swayman gives up the goal from center ice, which reminded me of Tommy Salo's goal in the 2002 Olympics when Sweden was upset by Belarus. But that was a game winner. This was early in the game, early enough for the U.S. to overcome, and they did. The U.S. has shown some moxie. Remember, they had 2 goals disallowed in their 5-1 victory over Latvia, which they controlled the game. Having 2 goals allowed can turn momentum, but they were not phased. Now, I could tell they were a little bit shook after Tim Swayman gives up that goal from center ice. You could tell they were pressing for a little while, and eventually they did assume command, but you could tell it bothered them. But that being said, Jack Eichel with goal, Brady Tkachuk with a goal, Jack Hughes with a goal to make it 6-3. Jake Gensel had a goal on a beautiful feed from Austin Matthews to put the U.S. up 5-3 in the third and give them breathing room. But, they trailed 2-0 with about 9 minutes and 43 seconds left in the second. They trailed 2-1 with about just under 10 minutes to go in the second period. And you're thinking, what the hell is going on here? But like I said, quickly, Brady Tkachuk off the face-off, and it's 2-2. Then Jack Eichel off an assist from Matthew Tkachuk right off the face-off, and it's 3-2. And then Noah Hanifin breaks in from the point, the defenseman, and he fires a shot that ricochets off a defenseman right back to his stick and into the back of the net. And it's 4-2, and you're thinking, okay, control has been established, until Swayman again gives up another long shot with 2 seconds to go in the second period. So you went in the third period feeling a little uneasy at 4-3, but the U.S. controlled the third and made no doubt. And like I said, the final shots on goal were 47-19 in the game. A poor game for Swayman. Jack Hughes got the final tally to make it 6-3. U.S. controlled the third period. And the U.S. 2-0. They will play Germany today, and they need to win this game to secure the pool. Germany is behind them with 3 points, 1 win and 1 loss. Let's go over Pool C as we started. USA in first with 6 points, 2 regulation wins. Germany in second, 1 win and a loss, 3 points. Latvia, the same, who defeated Germany 4-3 yesterday in a thrilling game where they came from behind 1-0, 2-1, and ended up winning the game in regulation 4-3. An excellent win by Latvia, who had Slilovs in net, the Penguin backup netminder who won the Calder Cup with the Abbotsford Canucks this past year, has played stellar in goal for Latvia. So, Latvia 1-1 with 3 points, and Denmark 0-2. Although, listen, Denmark's been competitive. They were competitive against U.S., and they were competitive losing 3-1 to Germany in the opener. Denmark with 6 NHL players in their roster. So, Pool C, USA first, Germany, followed by Latvia and Denmark. So, right now, Pool A, Canada, Switzerland, Czechs, and the French in the basement. Pool B, Slovakia already wins it, as Canada has already won Pool A. Followed by Finland, Sweden, Italy in the basement. Pool C, not yet decided. And it's the only pool that's not yet decided. USA currently in first. Germany, Latvia, Denmark. That's where we're looking. Now, just underway right now. Denmark is up 2-0 on Latvia. That is, now listen, unlike previous tournaments. And the women, they do it the old way. In the previous tournaments, you would have 8 teams make it out of the 12. And you would have 4 teams get a bye. The top 3 pool winners and the best second place team would get a bye. And 4 teams would play in the quarterfinal round. And then you would have, 2 teams would get the bye in the old school way. And you'd have, and they would not play until the semifinal. In this tournament, all 12 teams get to play in the knockout round. Now, I don't agree with this. I really don't. I like it better when, of the 12 teams, you had 2 teams that... It makes the first round mean something. So, right now, Canada, Slovakia, if it ended right now, Canada, Slovakia, USA, and Finland would be your top 4 teams. Now, they will get a bye. They won't have to play till the quarterfinal. There'll be a knockout round, round 1 before the quarterfinal, where all the teams get to play a single elimination game. I'm not crazy about that. I would rather have, 8 teams play in the quarters with 2 teams with a bye to the semifinal. That's what I would rather have. I would rather have that. Actually, I wouldn't even rather have that. I'd rather have 6 teams. 6 teams. 2 teams with the bye. The 2 4 teams play in the quarters, and then you have the semifinal and the gold medal game. That's how it should be, in my opinion. The women's tournament basically, the women did not have all 12 teams. I mean, the women had the quarterfinals, and let me see right now. I'm going to tell you right now how the women did it. The women did it the old school way. Yeah, the women had the quarterfinal, and after the quarterfinal, there's only 4 teams left. And that was it. That was it. U.S. beat Italy, and now there's only 4 teams left. You got U.S. playing Sweden, and you have the Canadians playing the Swiss, and then the winner will play in the gold medal game. That's it. That's how it should have been in the men's. But anyway, you will have all 12 teams get into a single elimination, but the top 4 teams will have a bye. So it is important to finish in the top 4. You have to play 1 less game to get to the gold medal round. So that's how I think it really should have went. I mean, think about it. If you had 2 teams, just the top 2 teams, the top pool winners get the bye with the 2 best records, and you could have 4 teams battle it out in the corners, and then you go to the semi. This way, 6 of the 12 teams make it, which would be the top 2 teams in each pool. And that makes all these games, that's the way it used to be, that makes all these games matter. Only 2 teams in the top 3 pools would make it, which means, Sweden would be out. Germany and Latvia, that game would have been them fighting for their lives. It would have made it, the drama, way higher. Way higher. I would have been fine with 6 of the 12 teams advancing to the medal round, but you know what? I get it. Anyway, that's what we got. Let's take a look at some of the leaders. Canada racked up some major stats today. Connor McDavid leading the Olympics with 9 points. I didn't get all the stats from the final, but during the game against Canada, he surpassed Yuri Slafkowski, the Montreal Canadian, who was lighting it up for Team Slovakia. So Connor McDavid had 9 points. Slovakia had 6. Marty Nikas from Carolina Hurricanes had 5 points for the Czechs. Lucas Raymond had 5 points, a goal and 4 assists for for Team Sweden. Timo Meyer for Switzerland, 3 goals and an assist, 4 points. Joel Armia from Team Finland, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points. Joel Armia of the LA Kings. Dalibor Dvorsky also 4 points for the Slovaks. Capo Caco, Team Finland, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points. But after today, that's going to change because 9 different players scored goals for Team Canada. Horvat added his second. Celebrini had two goals. So now he'll have 4 goals and 2 assists. So he'll slot in with right behind McDavid in the leaderboard. McDavid lit it up today. He's got 9 points. He leads all Olympians. McKinnon added another goal. Crosby added another goal. Hagel added a goal today for Team Canada. They were just unstoppable. And right now, you probably have 3 Canadian players, McDavid, Crosby, Celebrini, and I think McKinnon has 5 points. They would probably be the top 3, as I haven't gotten all the numbers in from the Canadian, the Canada-France beatdown 10-2 today. You'd have top, after Slafkowski of Slovakia, the top 3 scorers, I do believe, are now McDavid, Crosby, and Celebrini. But Slafkowski has played great for Slovakia. One of the reasons why they won Pool B. So that is your leading scorers. Again, the 3 Canadians I just mentioned, Slafkowski, Nikas, Raymond, Meyer, Armia, Dvorsky, Kako. And for the Americans at the bottom, Jack Eichel, top 10, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points. Brady Tkachuk and Matthew Tkachuk also with 3 points each. 2 goals and assists for Brady and 3 assists for Matthew. Jack Hughes also with a goal and 2 assists through 2 games, 3 points. Those are your leading scorers. Top goaltenders so far, Jordan Binnington, he is, after today, he'll have a 1.5 goals against in 2 games. Logan Thompson played 1 game. He has got a goal against of 1. Leonardo Giannoni, the longtime Swiss veteran, again playing great in international play. His goals against is 1.5. UC Saros of Team Finland, 1.34. Hellebuck, who only got 1 start, and I guarantee you won't see Tim Swayman ever again in the Olympics. Hellebuck had 1. It has a goals against of 1. Sam Lavage, who's been another story for Slovakia, who's gone 2-1 with a goals against of 3, but he has been under siege a lot and played well. Philip Grubauer of Germany, 2-1 with a 2.5 goals against, played well. As did Philip Gustafsson of Sweden, 2-2 with a 2.56 goals against. We will see Tim Stutzel and Leon Draisaitl, who have played well for Germany, with Philip Grubauer in net today as Team USA plays Germany at 3:10. Right now, Denver and Latvia is going on, and it is still 2-0. We do not have the single elimination schedule. I imagine those games will take place on Tuesday. That schedule is not up yet, but I promise you, on Tuesday, that will all begin. The top 4 teams, of course, will get the bye right to the quarterfinals. And right now, Canada, Slovakia have clinched those 2 spots. We have to see what the winner of Pool C will get the other spot. That's either going to be the U.S. or Germany. And Finland will get the 4th spot. So right now, it's pretty much decided. The only way... Finland has locked up the bye. So it's Canada's got the bye, Slovakia's got the bye, the winner of Pool C will get the bye, and Finland has the bye. Those will be your top 4 teams. So USA and Germany are basically playing for the winners of Group C. This is a big game today at 3:10. That is what we're looking at. That is what we're looking at. You know what? I know the World Championships does it a little different, but they play, they have 6 preliminary games, but, they only have, nobody gets a bye. It's 1-8, 2-7, 3-6, 4-5. And I would be fine with that as well. But like I said, they change it up. Juniors is different. I'd have to go back and research it. I'm forgetting now. Juniors, I think, usually does it the same way as the World Championships. But juniors, the top 2 teams get the bye. And then usually, it's like a 1-4-2-3 combat in the semifinals. And it's, by the time you get to the quarterfinals, you're never really playing a patsy team in juniors. Anyway, that's it, kids, for today. That is your Olympic update with the hockey. Let's take a look at our power rankings, how they looked early. Canada, this was our pre-tournament 1 through 12. Canada was our number one. They still are. Right now, Canada's blowing teams out. I mean, they won their 3 games by a total of 20-3. 20-3. 5-0 over the Czechs, 5-1 over the Swiss, who are very good teams, by the way, and 10-2 over France, who's not good. Canada, number 1. USA, number 2. I still believe that to be true. We had Sweden at 3 and Finland at 4. We're going to flip-flop that. I like Sweden at 3. I like Finland. Finland now, if I had to do it right now, Finland would be 3. And I would put Sweden at 4, even though they didn't finish 4. This is how my power rankings would go. So remember, our pre-tournament power rankings were Canada, USA, Finland, Canada, USA, Sweden, Finland, Czechs, Swiss, Slovakia, Germany, Latvia, Denmark, Italy, and France. The reason why we did that was Canada, USA, Sweden, and Finland are all NHLs, all NHL players. Czechia has 12 NHL players currently. The Swiss have 10 NHL players. Slovakia, Germany, and Latvia, 7 NHL players each. Denmark with 6, Italy with none, and France with 1. I put Italy ahead of France because I thought they would play more competitively being the home team, and they have. But as of right now, we still like Canada as the heavy favorite, or definitely the clear favorite. We like USA. We have moved up Finland from 4 to 3. And remember, Finland is the defending gold medal champions, as they won the last Olympics when there was no NHL players, only European players in the and a lot of them had KHL and pro players in Finnish league and Czech league. That's why Team USA last tournament, they finished 5th, but they had a lot of AHL, college, they didn't have the cream of the crop. I'm so glad that they have the best players, the pro NHL guys with, back in the Olympics. It's so exciting. Okay, so Canada, USA, Finland, we're still putting Sweden at 4, even though technically Slovakia is in that spot. I'm still putting Sweden in that spot. They finished 2-1. They lost to their arch rivals, Finland. That's their only loss. And you know what? That is a brutal grudge match, and I'm not going to kill them for losing that game. And they did lose it. They were controlled 4-1 by Finland, and Finland was in a must-win situation after losing the first game to Slovakia. I am going to put Slovakia right now, currently, at 5th because they are 2-1. But I honestly, I'm not doing that. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm putting the Switzerland, even though they lost. What a terrible, terrible injury that was. Kevin Fiala of the Los Angeles Kings broke his leg at the knee and will miss the rest of the NHL season. It's a terrible, terrible injury that, and the only major one that has happened here in the Olympics. You never want to see that. Now Fiala will be out for the rest of the NHL season, and that kills the Kings, who just got Panarin. So we're going to put the Swiss at 5. I'm putting Slovakia at 6. I'm putting the Czechs at 7. I am going to put Latvia at 8 because they have beaten Germany. Let's check that score going on right now. But they are losing to Denmark 2-0 at the moment. But Denmark doesn't have any wins yet, so we can't put them up there. Canada, US, Finland, Sweden, Switzerland, Slovakia, Czechia, Latvia, Germany. We're going to put 9. Germany is 1-1. What am I missing here? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slovakia, Czechia, Latvia, Germany. Denmark is 10th, where they belong right now. They are 0-2. And then we are still going to leave Italy and France at 11-12. Honestly, this is why they need to change the format of this. There's no reason that Italy and France should be playing in a knockout round. There's really no reason for it. I mean, you could have gave the first four. You could have gave the first four teams a bye. You could have 5 play 8, 6 play 7, and then you'd have would that work? 6 teams left? No, it wouldn't work. You'd have uneven teams. No, it would work. It would work. You'd have 1 play 6, 2 play 5, and 3 play 4 in the next round. Yeah, but that would leave 3 teams, right? 1 play 6. Yeah, that wouldn't work. Wouldn't work. It's got to be an even number of teams. It's got to be an even number of teams. Unless you give 2 the bye. Yeah, I guess you'd have to keep it with an even. It's got to be 6, 8, or 10 for it to work. It's got to be 6, 8, or 10 for it to work. I would be fine with 6 teams, 2 teams getting the bye, and the other 4 teams slugging it out. I mean, honestly, after you get past the first 6 teams, none of these teams have a chance. I mean, Denmark, Germany, Latvia, Slovakia, they're not beating Canada or USA. They're not. Well, I guess I can't say that. Switzerland and Slovakia have a chance. But that makes the tournament more drama-filled. It would be better if it was the top 6 advancing to the knockout medal round. But you're going to get all 12. And you'll see Italy and France get wiped early. You'll probably see Denmark and Germany get defeated as well. And you'll have 8 teams slugging it out when it's all said and done anyway. Denmark is now up 3-0 on Latvia. So let's look at our power rankings and see how they differ. Canada and USA the same. Finland is up from 4 to 3. Sweden is 4. We had the Czechs at 5 originally. The Czechs are not at 5. We have the Swiss at 5 because they defeated the Czechs. We had Slovakia originally at 7. They are 6. Czechia is 7. Latvia is 8. We had Latvia originally 9. Germany is 9. We had the Germans originally 8. We're not too far off. And Denmark, Italy, France, 10, 11, 12, just as we had them. So our last 3 and our top 2 were just as we had them. There's been a little bit of a swing, but that's your power rankings. And we are an hour and a half away from USA facing off today against Germany for the winner in Pool C. Enjoy the game. Again, Tuesday, the single elimination will start. The schedule's not up yet. We'll have it. Tuesday, we'll be back on, and we'll preview the knockout games. We might have to come on Monday night because some of these games may start at 6 in the morning. I'll give you the schedule Monday night for all the games, so you're set for Tuesday to know what to watch, where to watch it, stuff like that. Anyway, guys, I'm Billy D. This has been our Olympic hockey show. We went through a lot here. We've got our pool winners. We've got our matchup tonight. We've got our leading scorers. We've got our top goaltenders. We got our power rankings. We covered a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys tomorrow night. We're going to update all this and set you up for the medal round. Well, first the single elimination. The medal round really doesn't start till quarterfinals. The single elimination matches, which the top 4 teams will not play in, which basically is what all these first 3 games were for, to give the top 4 teams a bye. Again, I went over this. I would have rather seen a smaller medal round, 6 or 8 teams. I would have rather seen that. I mean, I would have preferred that, to be honest with you. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. That has been our Olympic hockey coverage. Enjoy the games tonight. I will see you tomorrow night with a wrap up on this stuff. Bye, guys.